Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Blockbull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now today we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, and we're also going to make some comparisons to gold, and we'll also have a play around with the market cap of. So we'll make some comparisons, for example, like what the price of one XRP token will be in terms of gold. Now let's go over to the comparison here. So first and foremost, we have Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin was to hit the market cap of gold, we would be looking at $810,000 per coin. Now, let's just go over to the Bitcoin chart right now. Now, this is on the log scale right here. So we have got some information already presented to you guys here. Now let me delete this because this was old data, so I've just rejigged this now. Again, we're using the line marker more often than not these days, just to ignore any wicks, as it highlights the significant market structure on any chart. So we literally just make it as simple to follow as possible. So you can see here where we created this sort of massive impulse here. This is going all the way back to November 2013. So we're going to start from here when we're drawing the tops in for Bitcoin. We got that 2017-18 high, which we actually penetrated the trend line, and then we got this double top here in the 2021 high. So that fooled a lot of investors because we've never seen a double top in Bitcoin's history here after the all-time high cycle here. So a lot of us was expecting to go higher, especially because some of us could have been drawing trend lines from this high here and actually targeting up here. Obviously, with diminishing returns with the cycle, we have actually created this double peak here for the 2021 cycle, and then we come back down to retest this trend line, which has pretty much been going since inception here. As you can see, we'll mark that there. Now Bitcoin is in a peculiar position. Now it's important, even if you haven't got any holdings or you haven't got any sort of exposure to Bitcoin, it's important to follow Bitcoin, because obviously Bitcoin dictates the rate in terms of the pace where we're actually going in the market. Now you can see, now if I scroll in, where Bitcoin currently is, we've already retested this blue trend line. So for me, there's no reason for us to retest. You can see how Bitcoin has come down, but we've actually created this sort of second trend line here, which is acting as support and resistance within the price action. Now if I just take it over to the candlestick patterns, you can see on the weekly here that we've had a wick down, which means Bitcoin has been violently rejected by the bulls, because obviously the bears have tried to take us into deeper waters, maybe to retest this white trend line for a second time, and they'll probably be targeting this sort of blue line here around this $53,000 mark. But at the moment the bulls are in control, and the bulls are looking to break this white sort of resistance line, if you will. Now we'll just flick back over to the line with markers. So for me, Bitcoin needs to be looking at some of these highs here, especially up around, it just depends as well how far along the cycle we actually go, because obviously if we just did a vertical line straight up, that would take us to approximately around, say, like the $280,000 mark. Obviously Bitcoin isn't just going to skyrocket and go vertical from here, is it? So we expect gains, whether or not Bitcoin continues to pinball within this sort of white sort of wedge created, and then obviously we'll meet support here at the blue line, roughly around, I'll be looking at end of October, beginning of November, which would perfectly align with the US general elections as well, and then hopefully Bitcoin would go into parabolic sort of skyrocket propulsion, shall we say. But yeah, I'd certainly be keeping my eye on this upper blue trend line, depending on where we are in the market, where we are at the cycle. I don't know at which point this would trigger, whether it be early next year or maybe Q2 Q3 of next year, in like just before the summer, maybe sell in May. But yeah, we've got gold market cap up there. around 810,000 there. So yeah, ultimately, Bitcoin could go into a super cycle, and you could have a couple of bounces off here and just continue up until like the next halving over the next 4 years. Who really knows? Because that would take us up to about, when was that? That'll be the end of 2017. So yeah, going into 2028, we could go into like an upwards trajectory. Whether or not that's realistic, I don't know. But again, it's all to play for. So we'll just go on this as well. Let's have a look at XRP as well. Say for example XRP. Bitcoin now at the current price. So XRP again is highly undervalued. We are yet to exceed all-time highs. So XRP, just to play catch up and facilitate what Bitcoin is currently fulfilling at the moment with the market capitalization, we'll be looking at a 40x for XRP, which would put us at $23. Now, a lot of TAs are looking at around that $27, $28 mark, and obviously Bitcoin has got a long way to go. Now, I just want to bring you guys attention to this tweet as well, because I noticed this as well. So this is being posted by Crypto Barbie. So X removes Bitcoin hashtag emoji. Is Elon Musk trying to tell us something with that? I think so. 100%. Earlier on the week, we all know that Elon Musk came out with these blue lasers. Now, historically, the lasers have been orange for Bitcoin. Now, for me, the blue represents the Ripple logo, in my opinion. And as Crypto Barbie says, we have got X payments, which will be expecting XRP to be on those payment rails as well. So that is bullish, in my opinion. Whether or not XRP can dislodge Bitcoin from the number one top spot, who is to know? But let's have a look as well. Since we've got gold up, let's have a look. See, a lot of people saying XRP could possibly be pegged to gold as well in the future. So, wow. Look at that, 481x. If XRP, that would be per coin as well. That would be absolutely phenomenal if that happened. Say they flip the switch and then XRP is pegged to gold. That would be unbelievable. $285, 481x. Unbelievable. You can see the progress bar there. We are literally only at 0.2% of actually fulfilling that XRP peg to gold. So that's how early we are, guys. 0.2% of the market cap of gold. We are so early. Now, my biggest holding is XTC. Everyone says I'm obsessed. I am obsessed. Just like everyone's obsessed with XRP. Look at that XDC. Yes, mate. Yeah. $1,072 per XDC if we was to take gold. Now, Comtech, built on XDC, is already tokenizing gold, exchanging one to one. Now, we all know XDC will be fulfilling the trade finance gap, which is approximately $5.2 trillion. Okay, so that is a third of gold's current market cap. Okay, so if you was to divide that number by 3, here we go. Let's get the calculator up. Pretty simple maths. I could just round it down to 1,000, but no, we're not. We're going with $1,072 divided by 3. So there you go. Trade finance gap cleared. Done, signed, sealed, delivered. XDC would be looking at $357 per coin. Obviously, I do not expect XDC to reach that figure this cycle. That would be a wild dream. But that's certainly what would be possible over the next, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 years. Certainly from like 2030, it could be looking more realistic. Say, for example, even if... let's go on the other website actually. So we'll get XDC and XRP up here, because we were all expecting XDC to do a similar return to what XRP did back in the 2017. So if we was to, let's switch them around now. So that would be the price there, $2.22. If XDC was to catch up to XRP's 59 cent. Now back in 2017-18 cycle, look where that would put XDC around $8.82. Obviously, there's a lot more capital in the markets these days, especially with the quantitative easing now going through the US. Obviously, they're printing money for fun. So with inflation, this is going to be a lot higher. I would be looking at XDC getting up to around $18 to about $20 this cycle. So that would be great news for XDC fans. Absolutely buzzing with that. We can take a look at someone was shouting as well. I'm going to cover some of what my viewers have been asking for. So if you guys post in the comments, I'll help you guys out and I'll just give you my opinion. So someone wanted XLM and they also wanted Velo. So we'll look at XLM now. Now bear with me because I've not been on this chart for a while. Let's have a look. So this horizontal line here, sort of turquoise line, I'm going to take these out as well, just clear the charts. So let's have a look. I would say something like that is going on. I'm just checking now, we're on the log chart. So something like this is going on. So again, we're creating another wedge. We can take the bottoms here. And obviously we've traded outside of this blue line here. But something like that to catch these lows as well. I will go with something like that to sort of marry these charts up. Okay, let's drag that. Let's make it a little bit neater. So that is XLM. Now, trying to actually forecast what XLM, XDC and XRP is going to do is very, very difficult because I don't expect these, if we're comparing it to the USD charts, just to make that Fibonacci, because I even still believe XDC, XLM and XRP miss the 2021 cycle. So I believe we could actually do a Fibonacci on top of a Fibonacci. So this is how bullish I am with the X coins. But just for argument's sake, say for example, if we're doing the Fibonaccis from here. So what the Fibonaccis would do, that should have been, for me, sort of the high back in the 21 cycle. Okay, so we'll mark that as a high. So when I say Fibonacci on Fibonacci, let me just mark that out with horizontal line. Something along there. Right, so that marks the first Fibonacci. And then if we was to mark a second Fibonacci and actually treat this yellow line as what should have been the high, and we'll bring it down there. Let's place another horizontal line. So I expect XLM to get all the way up here, in my opinion, around that $11 mark. Okay, so XLM is actually trading around 10 cents at the moment. Okay, and I expect us to get up to about $11, which is a sort of similar sort of price target to what XTC would do if it got up to the XRP all-time high. So I don't know what the market capitalization of XLM would be if it got up to around $11. Who knows? I haven't done the calculations, but that's just, that's just the nature of the game. If XLM is going to fulfill its actual utility and actually fulfill retail CBDCs, helping XRP do wholesale across like the NATO countries like the US, UK, most of Europe, then XLM is going to be worth a lot. Someone also shouted Velo, so we'll take a look at Velo. Here we go now. Velo's had a good day. We're up 8.5%, so we're doing really well. Again, I'm a big fan of these line with markers on the charts now. So simple and easy to follow, rather than using candlesticks. It's like really difficult because people are looking for closes, weekly closes, monthly closes, and then second guessing. Then we get fake outs, etc. Let's go with line with markers. Absolute piece of piss. Right, so I'd probably be inclined to do something along that sort of region, and then I would say around there. Okay, the reason being is because you can see here. The reason why I'm not coming down here as opposed to here is because I can see the shoulder pattern here, head and shoulders. So you get the left shoulder here, the head, and then the right shoulder's playing out now. So we get a head and shoulders pattern, which is a bearish pattern. Okay, but you can see here, if we flip back over to the candlesticks, we're actually retesting the top of this wedge. Okay, so the fact that we've got this extra support here, we've actually dipped inside the wedge, I would be bullish in this scenario. So I feel like the right shoulder has already been sort of printed, in my opinion. There's still an argument, like I said, with this head and shoulders pattern that we could go lower, and we could, fall as low as, say, 6 cents. But this is a risk when you're dealing with volatility, and volatility in the markets when there's a lot of gains to be had with coins like Velo. Okay, so this is it. Even if you just measure up to all-time high, you're looking at 16,000% increase. So that's still 160x opportunity. So this is what I mean. You have to be able to risk at least 50% of your capital. 50. You got when you invest in Velo, just think wherever you get involved, you're going to lose half your money. Velo is that volatile, but then you've got to think, if you've got to be in that crypto for the long term, and this is what I'd be targeting, these sort of all-time highs here. So there's still a long way to go for Velo, but for me it's still a buying opportunity. Okay, and like I said, we can grind down this sort of support line before we get going. I would expect September with the rest of the crypto market to get going. As I mentioned, we do not have to actually get to the apex of these wedges in order to get going, as silver has stipulated. We'll go over to silver now. You can see silver's macro wedge. We've not had to wait to the end or the tip of the iceberg for silver. Silver has got going a lot sooner. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I shall see you in the next video. I've been the Block Bull, over and out.